NAFB Hall of Fame began in 1986 as a way to highlight the careers and service of our members. We thank the United Soybean Board for their continued sponsorship of this recognition. Since its inception, 52 farm broadcasters and supporters of farm broadcasting have been added to this prestigious roster. The Hall of Fame is the highest honor that can be bestowed upon our members. Previous inductees include Bob Bice and Larry Haig, Herb Plambeck and Chuck Wooster, Lane Beatty and Sam Schneider, Bob Miller and Marvin Vines, Roy Battles and George Bigger, Phil Alampi and Earl Sargent, John McDonald and Russell Pearson, Mal Hansen and Arthur Page, Milt Bliss and Jack Timmons, George Logan and Maynard Speece, Wallace Catterley and Ray Wilkinson, Bill McReynolds and George Stevens, Jack Jackson and Dix Harper, Frank Atwood and Orion Samuelson, Dean Curtis and Art Seacrest, Wayne Lyles and Roddy Peoples, Ed Sluzarzik and Bill Drips, John Baker and Keith Kirkpatrick, Creighton Canal and Jack Crowner, Ed Johnson and Cliff Mitchell, Harry Martin and Gene Reagan, George Menard and Bob Nance, Dink Embry and Rich Hall, Lee McCoy and Evan Slack, Taylor Brown and Gene Millard. And last night, the names of Senator Conrad Burns and Colleen Callahan were added to this list of inductees. Now, let's meet the newest member of the NAFB Hall of Fame.
It was the rolling farmland and the people of the community of DeGraff, Ohio, that heavily influenced a young woman's career path to be a farm broadcaster. Tonight, we honor the distinguished career of Lindsay Hill. In October 1979, Lowell and Donna Hill brought home a new baby girl to join an older brother, Lance. Lowell farmed with the family outside of town and worked for a construction company, while Donna was a full-time mother raising a family and involved in the community. The farm was important to Lindsay, and she kept on the go with family activities and involvement in the community. She showed hogs in the Pee Wee contest and continued through high school, learning lessons of responsibility, care, and competitiveness. Stranger wasn't a word in Lindsay's vocabulary. She enjoyed meeting people, making friends, and was quick to flash a smile and share a laugh with everyone around her. It's not surprising that when the yearbook staff asked her about her favorite thing in junior high, she told them it was playing tricks on the guys. Lindsay attended Riverside High School and was involved in multiple activities like the Flag Corps and school plays. She was a player on the basketball team, providing solid leadership on and off the court. She developed her passion for basketball and became involved with radio, doing color commentary and reports for the local radio station. She was a student council officer and excelled in her studies, graduating in 1998 from Riverside with honors. Classmates named her most likely to succeed. She was also named the Logan County Fair Queen. Lindsay continued her education at The Ohio State University, majoring in agricultural communications. She interned with broadcasting legend and NAFB Hall of Fame member Ed Johnson at the ABN Radio Network in AgriCountry TV. She worked her way through college, sometimes working 2 or more jobs at a time, graduating from Ohio State without student loans staring her in the face. In 2005, at the age of 25, Lindsay and Andy Vance co-founded the Buckeye Ag Radio Network, or The Barn. Less than 18 months later, they took over operations of ABN Radio, bringing Lindsay back to where she got her start in broadcast. And ABN covered events that were important to their listeners. In Ohio, you could find ABN at over 50 county fairs, covering commodity groups, ag organizations, the state legislature, or governor. She highlighted exhibitors at the Ohio Farm Science Review, Commodity Classic, NCBA Convention, and countless other meetings. She took the responsibility of broadcasting from events like these as a personal mission for telling agriculture's story to her listeners. Lindsay loved connecting with young people, highlighting FFA members, talking to livestock exhibitors, and emceeing live broadcasts from the Ohio State Fair Sale of Champions. In fact, it was Lindsay's leadership that returned the Sale of Champions back to television in Ohio. Lindsay's contributions didn't go unnoticed, as she was recognized by Ohio State University Alumni Association with the William Oxley Thompson Award. Nominated by Congressman Jim Jordan, the award recognizes OSU alumni under the age of 35 for early outstanding career achievement. Two-time Heisman Trophy winner Archie Griffin presented Lindsay with the award. A year later, Dr. Bobby Mosier, Dean of the College of Food, Agricultural, and Environmental Sciences at Ohio State, presented Lindsay the Young Professional Achievement Award, recognizing her achievements as a young professional graduate of the college. As a farm broadcaster, Lindsay was involved with the NAFB, serving on committees, stepping into the role of moderator for panel discussions at our annual meeting, and co-chairing Washington Watch. She was recognized for her contributions to the news service and shared MarketCast and Newscast awards with the ABN broadcast team. In 2008, Lindsay's peers recognized her involvement with the association, selecting her as the Horizon Award winner. Lindsay ran for NAFB vice president that same year and was the youngest elected to serve in a national office. As a national officer, she immersed herself further into the NAFB, recruiting new members and reaching out to individuals and companies to strengthen their connection with farm broadcasting. She assisted in planning the convention and formulated a program in 2010 to involve as many people as possible in her annual meeting with professional improvement, networking opportunities, newsmaker events, and entertainment. In January 2011, Lindsay began leading the NAFB as president of the association. She represented the membership at the American Farm Bureau Convention held in Atlanta under some unusual weather conditions.
I do want to start by acknowledging that I am here today thanks courtesy to a couple of very kind gentlemen from Nationwide Agribusiness who took pity on a lady in a skirt and offered me a ride to the convention when all other transportation was shut down, proving once again that Nationwide truly is on your side.
Always sharing her smile and upbeat attitude, at Commodity Classic, she brought attendees the latest news.
The United States and Mexico have reached an agreement to end the trucking dispute, with both countries' presidents unveiling a deal that resolves that long-standing dispute over cross-border trucking that has subjected the U.S. to billions of dollars in punitive tariffs. That plan will allow for those tariffs to be lifted immediately. Yesterday, the U.S., that's okay, you can applaud that. I'm pleased to bring you news that makes you want to clap when it comes from the ag world.
While the bulk of Lindsay's career was in radio, her first love was television. In late March, she began what she described as her dream job, being named Agribusiness Director for Ag Day Television and U.S. Farm Report. It was obvious to anyone who visited with her how much she enjoyed reaching this point in her career. Tragically, Lindsay's career was cut short due to an automobile accident on May 19, 2011. Lindsay's family was important to her, and to Lindsay, family went beyond her relatives. She frequently posted on Facebook about her nieces and nephew, sent words of encouragement to her NAFB family and friends from the agriculture community. She celebrated every Ohio State win. Anyone who knew Lindsay knew how important Ohio State was to her. Her community was equally important. When teachers at Riverside High School were asked about their memories of Lindsay, the most common answer was she never forgot her school. Those teachers shared stories of her returning home from different events, and staying connected to DeGraff was so important. Lindsay's faith was evident to everyone who knew her well. Earlier this year, she shared a verse with a friend from Philippians. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. Her professionalism did not go unnoticed by her peers and professionals. Agriculture Secretary Tom Vilsack.
I had the opportunity to speak with Lindsay on a handful of occasions, mostly interviews. I was always struck by her tough but fair questions. She cared about farm broadcasting and about farmers. As president of NAFB, Lindsay helped facilitate my conversation at the most recent Washington, D.C. fly-in. I always look forward to that event, and this year, Lindsay ran the show with characteristic skill and grace. As I recall, the discussion covered a range of topics, but Lindsay helped keep us focused on the dialogue that mattered. What can those of us in power do to help keep American agriculture strong and prosperous? And it should have been no surprise, throughout her impressive career, she spoke thoughtfully and forcefully for our nation's farmers, ranchers, growers, and producers, and especially for those in Ohio. Following her passing, I had the opportunity to speak briefly with Lindsay's father. And I know that an incredible community came out to support her family and friends in that tragic time. So I appreciate the opportunity to remember Lindsay today, to celebrate her for her hard work, for her passion for farm broadcasting, and for her efforts to tell the story of the men and women who feed us in the world. May God bless her, and may God bless her spirit and memory as it remains in all of our hearts.
Lindsay loved the NAFB and worked hard to make the association better. Her mark on the NAFB is still evident today, as every day that passes by brings another memory of her. Those who knew Lindsay continue to miss her and are thankful for the memories of her. Ladies and gentlemen, the newest inductee to the NAFB Hall of Fame, Lindsay Hill.